Hello and welcome to my channel. It's Miriam here at Paper Wheel Studio, the home of the wheelchair crafter. I hope everyone's having a wonderful crafting today in your own crafting space. And mine's a spare bedroom, and I call it my studio, and that's where all my craft supplies are. So I hope you are enjoying your space today. I came on today here, and I just wanted to take a little break from the journal I was working on. And I have all these pieces of packaging here that I want to turn into something usable for my journals. I've got some small Tim Holtz packaging, one that says mini paper clips. We got mummy cloth here. And then I've got some of these pieces that stickers came in that I just saved because they have all these neat looking backgrounds. I thought if I sand and ink these a bit, maybe I could just add a label up here, and that might be all it needs. So I did bring those along. I cut these. These are both from paper pads. One from Dress by Craft. Actually, I guess they both are from Dress by Craft. And I just cut these into a tag shape so they could be covered. And again, they're a little slick, but you can cover things that have the glossy background. So my plan is to cover these. And I also had this really neat one that I thought maybe I could turn it into a mini folio. I think I'll only need to cover one size, and then I even have this little pocket if I want to put a pocket on the inside of my little mini folio. So that's an option as well. I brought it along. So I'm just going to play with packaging today. I'm challenging myself to use things from this neutral paper pad that I got on Temu. Excuse me, I have it, so might as well use it. It's got a lot of documents, both small and larger sizes. Some postcard-like pieces. So I'm going to use that. I'm also going to maybe use, I got a bunch of these little ticket tablet, I don't know, they call them like memo tablets, but they're actually little ticket booklets also from Temu. And I have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, I have 6 of these, all different. So I have those here to play with. I also have these little strippies that came from Temu. Someone gave me these, so I don't know yet, but I have that here as an option as well. The daisies would be beautiful for summertime, and they're just strips. So I thought maybe I could come up with something with them. We'll see. I also have the usuals. I have my ink and dauber. I'm using gathered twig today. I have my white glue. I have my glue stick. Couple stamps here that I thought, these are texture stamps that I thought I might play with a little bit today. I have 1, 2, 4 different ones, and these are just ones I keep around on my desk. There's a little splashy. I also have my random dot stencil. I don't know what this is called. It is a Tim Holtz stencil. I might do a little something with this. Don't know yet. We'll see. So I just thought I'd come along and play. I also brought some stickers. I thought maybe I could layer up some stickers on these things. And I just want to kind of keep it simple, more or less. I have 2 larger pieces of packaging here. I don't know if we will get to those, but I'm going to leave them at the bottom of my pile. And kind of, let's see, where can I put these? I think I'll put them, I have a tin over here that just has a bunches of scrappy things in it, and I'm going to put them in the front of that tin. So I'm going to challenge myself to use that. these tablets that I have and see what I can come up with. So let's start with this piece. I'm going to cut the bottom part off. I like how it looks like a little mini folio. So that's what we're going to develop it into. Now I'm minus one tablet. They hit the floor, so that's okay. I still have plenty here I can use. I'm going to try to use only these things that I have here on my desk and not use up what I have here. So I'm just wanting to cut straight down through here to cut that pocket off. And I'm going to save it because it could be used elsewhere as a pocket on a tag. And it already has two side gussets, so it could be used somewhere for a pocket. So I'm going to save that piece. And I have my little folder here. And it even has a little thing that says memories there. I love when you can get ephemera with the decorated packaging, because to me that's just more ephemera. So let's see, I want something very simple and neutral for the back. So let's see what I have here in my little notebook that might look cool on the inside. No. Trying to get something that kind of matches that. That would pull that reddish pink part there. You can see the pink inside that looks like maybe flowers in the background. So I like the smaller writing here. So I'm going to pull a piece of this. And I don't want to take a whole bunch of time trying to decide these things, so no, I don't like that one. I think I'm just going to go with this one. The first one I pulled here. I also brought the Ranger Distress collage medium that I thought I could use to stick my things down on my packaging. And I have my little sandy file here because I may just file the edges off rather than cutting them. So we'll see here. I like filing edges. So we're just going to I got a couple scrap pieces of paper here. I'm just going to turn them down and put them underneath my packaging as I'm adding on the stuff, and then I'll stick this to the packaging. Don't need to do anything to that side, as I already said. And I'm going to wait till after I'm finished here to ink it up. So let's just cover this side with a light coat of the collage medium. And I'll go from there. This works good because you can spread it out. You could also use Mod Podge. It will wrinkle things a little bit, but it usually straightens out once it dries. I've honestly only used a very little of this, and I'm not even sure it was exactly the same thing previously. So let's see how we do here. And I want to cover the whole piece, clear to the edges, make sure I get the whole thing covered. Don't want to miss a spot. And I don't want the glue to be real thick anywhere, because that'll ruin my purpose here. All right, this doesn't really have I mean, it's obviously one goes one way when you read it, but I'm not really too concerned. So let's move this over slightly. And I'm just going to try putting this down. I like how that's grunged on that corner, so I'm going to try to take advantage of that corner. All right. So there we go. Let's find my little black scrapey thing that I use to scrape things down. Anybody see it on my desk anywhere? This is what happens when you try to get organized for a video. You lay things to the side and then you can't find it. Let's see. Oh, here it is with my scissors that are off here hiding. So there we go. And I'm going to wipe that glue that happened to get on this side because I really want it to have the natural paper look. So I think I'll just, rather than using my scrapey thing, I'm just going to use my cloth so I can push all the excess glue out. Get it off the paper here. Lay my paper to the side here. And I'm just going to push it down real good, and I'm going to lay it to the side to dry, and then I will come back and after it dries for a few and take care of the edges. So we're just going to do a few of these and let them dry, and then we will come back and cut them and maybe decorate some things. So that was the folder. Let's pull the Tim Holtz pieces, because I think they will fit without too much problem on the things I have here as well. Let's see. Those are my gluing pages. So we want something to get down on this. And let's see. I thought maybe for this one, we could try some sort of a, I don't know, collage. Get the pieces that they're all but one long enough to go across, and let's just do a layered ticket look. How does that sound? Hopefully these will cover it okay. I only need one piece of scrappy paper here to do this. Lay my other Tim Holtz to the side for a few minutes till we get there. And let's put, I almost started with it on my table. All right. I want to put this on the piece of ephemera, not the paper, on the card. So I'm just going to rub that part there. Get this off my fingers. And put this piece down. Now, is there anything I want to make sure I get? Yeah, I like that number there, so we want to make sure we get the number. I'm going to make it even with the top as best I can, and then I'm going to slide it over so that that number's right there on the edge. And this collage medium gives you room for adjusting your pieces, so if you end up putting something down, you can pull it back up if you don't get it in the right place. Okay, let's see. Just go fold this piece. This is a scrappy piece of the same papers. Probably shouldn't have used it, but I'm just going to fold it in half there and do that. So let's grab a piece of the yellow next. I'm not sure if that one with the 1 on it's going to be not wide enough or what here. And since we got the number on that side, I'm going to turn this one around and put the number, there's only one number on it, but I'm going to put the number on the side that we're going to cut off so that it doesn't look exactly like the other piece hanging there. And besides, that gives it all the writings going in the same direction. If it doesn't bother you, you can put these down randomly, top to bottom. That's an option. Let's see, is that going to go across? We'll just tear one off here and stop. Or not stop, we'll tear one off here. And it just fits, so that will be good. Cover the rest of this. And I think on the bottom, I think I'm going to put a green piece down rather than the blue. So let's try that and see what it looks like. Put the white piece down. And I'm going to just put it down right across here. Green one's kind of skinny because we're going to lose half of it here. Or do we want to use, let's see if there's that much difference in these two. Really only a fraction of a difference. So do we want to use blue with that? Or what do you think, green? I think green. So we're going to put one of these down here and put the writing the same direction as all the others. Yes, on this one it really does not matter which way. We'll put it down like this. And that will finish off that one. We'll lay it to the side to let it dry. And then we'll come along and cut these off. And once the one side's dry, we need to put something on the other side. And I may have some solid scraps that I could use for the other side. I did say I was going to use things on my desk, and I don't want the front and back to look alike. So let's lay this over here and do another one with Tim Holtz. I also have very easily to grab here. I have some book page that are on my desk and some other smaller pieces here that might work well to put in this. So there's a little piece of book page. Let's use some of my grungier pieces here for this one, because I want to get these used up. And what better way to do that than to use them up? So I don't want that piece. Nope. There's more grunge. And more grunge yet. And that's probably the extent of what we'll need. So I'm going to tear these all to be approximately the same size. And I think I'm just going to use these grungy pieces. Let's make them all about half the size of these so that they will go together and we'll have a little bit more collage look on this. We could also throw in one of my tickets. Maybe the orange or yellow would go with these. Actually, probably any of them would go, but let's give it a shot with some of these here. And next, maybe we'll do one of these tags I have, because I have some ideas for that as well. Let's see. Okay, got those pieces. These I'm going to cut in half and in half again. Sometimes I tear my pieces to put down. Just not doing that today. You can really do these any way you want. You could put a full piece of paper over this and cover it. You could cover it with digitals. You can cover these with anything you'd like. I just like the shape of them because you really don't even need to cut them any differently to create tags with them. If you are a bit concerned about things sticking, you could come along and stamp. I'm not worried too much about it. If I need to add some more glue, I will do that. So I'm just going to put some glue down on this big enough to cover it, and I probably should have put something under there, shouldn't I? Goodness. All right, here we go. Collaging, isn't it just so stress reducing, relaxing to just collage. Don't even think about how it's going down and just put it down. We'll let that hang over the edge of the paper. And most of these are going to go on semi-straight anyway. Let's bring this down just a little bit more right here. Trying not to get too much, but I want enough to saturate my papers and actually cover it. Let that one hang off the edge. Make sure I get my edges on this one because I'm going to put it down a little differently. I think I'm just going to stick it down here in the middle like that. Let's bring that up there to cover that. Yeah, there we go. I have this little tiny piece here. I think I will use it across that hole. I don't need the whole hole covered, so I'll just cover this piece. Running out of medium on my brush here. Now, when you do this, you'll want to make sure you either put your brush in water immediately or get it cleaned out. You don't want to let it dry on there because it's very hard to clean once it dries. However, I did leave Mod Podge on a brush at one point, and it did clean off. Believe it or not, it cleaned all off. Okay, so let's see. I need something slightly different than what I've got laying there. This one will work. Cover my piece to the edges. That way I make sure it holds things down here. And that covers that up. Just pressing it down real good. Wipe that up off of my desk there. I honestly have no clue how many of these will get done today. Like I said on one of my other videos, if I were a mask maker, I would still be mask making one project and clear into June, July, and August. Forget about mask make March. My mask make would last all year long, and I'd only complete 1 or 2 projects. But that's okay. For those of you who enjoy doing things at a slower pace, you'll like my videos because that's how I do them. Try not to rush when I'm doing them or rush through them. Let's put this large piece in smack in the middle. Oh, don't become part of the, you really want to become part of this project, don't you? Keeps falling down, saying, use me, use me. I don't want to be left out. I gotta move that guy because it's driving me crazy. All right. So we'll put that baby down there, and that'll take care of that. A couple more, and we are finished with this one. It doesn't take long when you're covering things or collaging. If you're doing masterboard, obviously it takes so much longer. But when you're just doing something like this, it doesn't take a long time at all. Put him on there just a little crooked there. Give it a little sense of variety. See how much this piece will cover. Don't think it's going to do the whole thing here, but we'll see what it will cover and go from there, huh? Anybody else enjoy collaging as much as I do? It's just so simple and you really don't have to think a lot about it. And then it's fun when you get done. Oh, what can I make now with what I have done? So it's a real fun way to create some stuff, especially if, you know, you're feeling a little reluctant to create something large. Get out your scraps, get out your cardboard, and create a new cover for a journal. You can use your collaging for pages, covers, tags, really just any type you want. I'm simply using it as something to cover up these pieces of packaging. So we'll put that on that way. Make sure we got every little piece of that one. Yep, gotta turn him some more. Let's see if I turn him more like that. There we go. That did it. So there we go. There's front side of that piece all covered. Remember, it was the Tim Holtz packaging piece I was working on. Okay, let's lay that to the side, and I believe this first one should be dry enough. Yeah, it's dry enough. We can cut it. Only I said we weren't going to cut it, didn't I? This paper, it's more like a, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's a thinner decoupage type paper, and it works very well if you just want to sand the sides. So I'm just gonna see how it just tears right off there once you get it sanded. And that can go over here with my random scrappy things. All right. The bottom needs just a wee bit. So we'll come along here and sand the bottom a bit. Sand off the paper part. And I'm going to come around on this side. This is the one we just tore, and I'm going to get those pieces that didn't exactly tear straight. All right, got that now. I'm going to do this other side, give it a little bit of a sand just to kind of rough up my edges so it'll pick up some ink. And let's see, how can I do this? This will fold down right there, so we'll start with it. And I'm just kind of molding that paper down around where I want it to go. And again, I just sanded it enough where I could just tear it. I'm going to use my curved piece because that works very well for those areas. Okay. That piece just does not want to come off there. It's too attached, I think. It loves its purpose and thought he would be serving his role, staying there, but no such luck, buddy. Okay, get that little piece off, and then we're going to come around and do this little corner here. If you want, you can bring your corner rounder in and round the corners. This upper one is rounded already. I think I'm going to round the others, bottom ones to match. Okay. Just going to finish up this last little bit with my scissors because it's hard to get a file down in that corner when it's tiny like this. So we'll just kind of fix it with the scissors here. There we go. That did it. And grab my corner around here. See if I can fold this without creating too much problem. Avalanche of things falling in my lap. Oh, see what happened? It wasn't down actually in the corner. So it did not want to do either one of those. Turned out a little funky on the corners, so let's fix them with the scissors. There we go. This edge is kind of funky anyway, and I believe I didn't do a very good job trimming it earlier, so I'm gonna just barely take a snippy off there to, yeah, that's much better. And I'm gonna go ahead and get this little snippy off here. Okay. Yep. Let's ink her up. Look at my gathered twigs here. Oh, I missed this tiny little corner. So let me fix it here with my brush. Just gonna stick a little bit in under there and press it down as far back as the bristles will allow. There we go. Now they're all good. And we're just going to ink the edges where I sanded it. See how it's taking that ink? Yeah. Yes, I love it. I love it. Really, really like it. I really, really like it. Okay. Just looks absolutely amazing. I messed this bottom up, so we need to take this the rest of the way over. I think. Yeah, there we go. That took care of that piece. So we'll ink that where I trimmed. Make sure I didn't miss anything on this side. Okay, now let's see here. The best way to do this is, Go get my ruler, my metal ruler. And I'm just gonna, well, you know, I can't do that because I gotta see where it needs to touch up here at the top. So I'm just going to kind of roll the center until I figure out where I want this, because I don't want it to crease until it's ready. You know what? I'm just going to leave it straight and leave the tab on it, and it'll be like a tag or journal card rather than a little folio, because that cardboard's still pretty thick on there. Yeah. We're just going to leave it that way. And then there's writing room on the back if someone wants to write rather than folding it. All right, so I got that piece. Let's cut this one. I'm going to use the scissors on this one, or the file on this as well, I think. Just folding my edges over. Not much of an edge on that white one, is there? Okay. And I'm just going to use my file to file off these pieces. I'm going to keep these little pieces with numbers on them because they work very well when you need just little snippets of something. If you'd like to see me do my own version of snippet rolls, leave me a comment below and I'll include that in my 100 days. So if there's anything else that you would like to see me make during the 100 days challenge, comment below and I will see what I can do. I will research it and maybe I can come up with a new take on it that you haven't seen before. Pretty much in the junk journal world, a lot of things have been tried, so, and you can't really, you just put your own little twist on a version of something that somebody else has already tried. So, it's kind of hard to come up with all brand new ideas all the time because it's probably been done, just maybe not the way you decide to do it. One of the creators on YouTube, though her name has left my mind, is doing a 100 envelope challenge. So everything she does is being made from envelopes for her 100 days, which kind of makes it interesting. Let's see if we have something simple that we could just stick on the block here in my little notebook piece. It will allow for some journaling on. Let's see what we got. There's some lighter pieces. That's lighter. Might not have too much in here. That's not bad. That could be used on one. Kind of big. Here we go. Here we got a couple invoices, lighter colored, so we'll use one of them as well. Well, glue. And where did my glue brush go? Ah, hiding under this little folio piece that we finished. The one piece we finished is hiding my glue brush. All right, get this down on here and it'll dry while we're cutting the other one. Looks like we're going to get 3 of these done today. Make sure I got all my edges. Edges seem to be the issue a lot of times. So let's just go around only the edges to make sure I've got them all. There we go. Again, we don't want gooping, but we'll make sure we're covered all the way to the edges. something went off my desk. And I'm just going to put this down here in this corner and slide it up where I want it to be. Leave just enough on the edge there to do some sanding when we're done. And that's got some lighter parts of that invoice there, so that would be great for writing on. Okay. Let's get working on this one. Missed this corner. No? Yeah, barely. It's our backing piece there, so let's go ahead before I sand this, and I'm going to slip some glue in that corner. I'll save it for sanding for last. I think the other ones look pretty good. So I'm going to start over here. Just fold my paper over a bit and start sanding. The smaller pieces sometimes are just a little bit harder to sand, only because they want to, once they get going a little bit, they want to move a little, so you just got to rip them out of there and get them out of your way once you're done sanding a little. Not much down here to sand off, but there's still some. I just like to run the edge of it along the edge there, and that just gives it enough of the sand to remove the excess papers. Doesn't work, you can back in and sand a little bit more. Yep, and most of the time the round corners work as well. You just kind of roll your sander right around the corner. Isn't it fun to make something out of something you normally would throw away? I just find that so, I don't know, what's the word I want? Any ideas? Satisfying? Accomplished? So why is it that you guys like junk journaling? What is it about junk journaling that you like? Myself, I like to make things out of nothing. Oh, need a little more sanding, Miriam. This is running a little longer than I thought, so likely I will come back on to another video. Maybe I'll cover a couple more and then I will bring them back, show you, and we'll do some decorating on them tomorrow in my next video. So be sure you come back, see how I decorate my pieces of packaging. That way you will be able to know what you can do with these pieces. All right, so now we have that. Let's get this on the back. And I'm just simply going to put this down here on the back. Then we have us some room on the back of this piece, become a tag or journaling card, to do some writing in the journal if you enjoy write, or if the recipient of your journal enjoys writing. I do not sell my journals. I might make them for someone or make one if someone asks, but I do not have a shop where I sell my journals. It's just something I love doing and love sharing with you, which is why I'm here. So be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy my content so that you will see more of my content. All right. That one just is honestly just about the right length. Where'd that string come from? Okay. There we go. And if your piece of cardboard warps a little, like mine has done, you simply put it under something, or they straighten out. I understand very good with laminating machines, though I've not yet tried it. They probably also would straighten out very good with straightening iron, if you wanted to straighten it in that way as well. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up these off camera, and I will be back and ready to decorate some in my next video with you. So you all come back. Be sure to catch the decorating video that will follow this, and I will see you in the next video. You all have a wonderful afternoon. And y'all come back.